sure give. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Paint away day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Oh, 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 oh. Why listen to what I need? Put a picture so I can see. February can't chase the days away. Yeah, away. Why listen to what they say? Save yourself for another day. This one's coming, it's gone to the wind again. Yeah, again. Again. Just listen and make amends. You've been down for as long as you've ever been. This way's up, but you're down again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right.
You're all I've got. You're all I want. You're all I've got. You're all I want. Back in the day, complications never wore my patience. I was always ready to play, play, play. Why face the day in the sunshine in LA? We hit the beach and rode the waves. I lost my balance, I was faded, faded. I was trapped and wrapped up in a scene that was never really me. Plastic lights and starry eyes, and all the freaks were left outside. So I'd look in and wonder why. Where was mine? I couldn't find it, find it. But you're all I've got. You're all I want. Some days it just feels like this will never be enough. Most days it just feels like a struggle to catch up. And I won't mind the day I find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. Time to walk away, trade my sunshine in for rain. Same old ways in a different place, but something's changing, changing. I wanted answers and direction. What I got was second guessing, hesitation, no sensation, just more questions. Nothing to blame for being stuck inside this frame of mind. If I can find my way, who I am, what I want, where I'm going, where I was,
It's not up to you. Wish there was something I could do.
you're not me, so you can't
Let's
make
go.
my answers.
Answers because you're all I've got. And you're all I want. Yo, some days it just feels like this will never be enough. How we doing, Pride Month? Most days it just feels like a struggle to catch up. Big election tomorrow, but I won't mind the day I find what a peace of mind you are. 'Cause life is a wonderful mess. You're all I've got. You're all I want. Yo, all I want. Yeah, dude, tomorrow, big primary day. Oh, it's about to get crazy in here. Since I've been sober, I just found another shoulder to look over. Am I bolder? I feel colder. Every time I sense danger, I just find another angle to this game that I don't want to play. Please start me over. I'm ashamed that my claim to fame is the fact that I can walk away again and again and feel nothing. And I'm under because when you feel concern, it doesn't make me feel okay. I feel invaded. Oh. Dude, what a tune! Freedom. Come on! Woo! Dude, that, I gotta be honest. The end of fucking Wonderful Mess right there is like probably some of my favorite lyrics like ever that I've ever written. I mean, what a lyrical masterpiece, right? Since I've been sober, I just find another shoulder to look over. Am I bolder? I feel colder. Every time I sense danger, I just find another angle to this game that I don't want to play. Please start me over. I'm ashamed that my claim to fame is the fact that I can walk away again and again and feel nothing. And I'm unnerved because when you feel concern, it doesn't make me feel okay. I feel invaded. What a fucking, what a lyrical masterpiece. I'm serious. It's like, it just encapsulates that early sobriety in such a profound fucking way. Cheers to the guy who wrote that shit. Oh, that was me. All right, cheers to me. Go me. Mwah. Fucking brilliant. All right, brilliant. And on top of that, the Mariners walked it off against the Mets, 7 in a row, right? Release the CDs. They're coming, baby. They're coming. Trust. Dude, the Mariners walked it off. All right? Dude, they walked it off in the fucking, dude, in the 10th inning, bro. Cole Young, again. This kid, dude, he had a walk-off in his very first game. I just love seeing it I mean, the Mets tried to be devious too with these really good left-handed pitchers, and the Mariners hit home runs lefty on lefty twice with Colt Emerson and then Josh Naylor, and then they fucking wore him down. We saved our left-handed pitcher for extra innings. Dude, so good. Bro, I mean, I'm telling you, Colt Emerson and Cole Young, those two young guys, Emerson is 20 and Cole Young is 22. And these guys are so good at baseball. They are. They're so seasoned. They're so good, right? They're so good with fucking, in the clutch moments. And that's what I love, guys. I love that shit of we're human. Sometimes we're good. Sometimes we're bad. but being your best when the pressure is on, when it is clutch, right? You know what I'm saying? Like being your best when you have to be is like, I live for that shit, boss. That's what like my whole life has been about, is like, I'll be a fuck up, I'll be a loser, but when back is against the wall and it is like you have one shot, like Eminem said, that's when you fucking bring your best, man. Dude, I love that shit, right? I love that shit. Dude, let's go. Yeah, dude, Cal was hurt. He's going to come back. But I like that shit. Now, we have a hell of a show today, guys, because we're going to be in and out. We're not going to have a long one tonight. We're not going to have like 2-hour discussions. We are going to be in and out. We're going to be focused, okay, because we do have to cover some very specific shit, okay? One thing we're going to cover is Melania Trump and Amanda Ungaro going like ape shit on her, dropping some pretty serious allegations, and shit is getting live with that shit. So we're going to do that, okay? We're going to do that. We're going to cover Melania Trump, all right? That's a big one. Then number 2, we're going to look at Trump, okay? Because Trump is crashing, boss. His America 250 is crashing. He is giving up on the 1776 fund because they are getting decimated and some legal issues with their little slush fund. And then, of course, Iran has fucking clipped his ass and pulled out of the negotiations, which is not a surprise because Trump is literally like a stain of weakness at this point. And, you know, Exxon has foreshadowed what is coming. And guys, it doesn't look good. Okay, so we'll see. I mean, Republicans could very well have an election nightmare on their hands here. But we're going to look at that, the Trump losses. And then last, okay, we are going to look at Pride Month because, of course, we get it every year. Like the baseball and sports teams announce it, and then all the religious zealots freak out. But Sesame Street single-handedly just like, whoa, just body slammed Maga today. Okay, Sesame Street did. And I mean, dude, there's like MAGA people that have been freaking out all day on this. I, of course, have been very active on Twitter because, yes, I come around every June 1st to rub it right in their fucking faces, as I always will. It's really hitting hard. It's really hitting hard this year, right? Because there's 2 months in, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we're 2 years into the Trump admin, and they thought like woke was going away, and it's not disappearing. You know, gay and trans people are not going to hide despite all their bullshit. So yeah, they're crashing out. You have Indiana and Tennessee even creating Nuclear Family Month. Oh my God. So yeah, okay. Sicko told your job they're increasing the oil prices. Guys, can I just tell you, okay? Can I just tell you guys that we have oil prices are like one situation, like, yeah, the oil prices, gas prices, but guys, there's a problem of supply that is about to fucking wreak havoc because part of the way the U.S. has avoided, okay, part of the way the U.S. has avoided, you know, harm is like eating into reserves. And so we are going to get into the situation where like supply becomes a serious thing. And those of you who are my age will remember when, you know, when the Iranian government changed hands in the, you know, the Islamic Revolution, and you know, there was also like PLO was fucking, you know, grappling for power and shit, and there was some uncertainty. There were lines, guys. Twice when I was a kid, there were like 1,000 cars waiting in line to even get gas. Okay, so we could be in for a world of hurt, guys. Okay, we could be in for a world of hurt. There were huge lines, Straw Hat. There were like gas stations that were literally, I mean, guys, let me just show you. Let's take a little tour, okay? Let's start here just to sort of go back. It was in the 70s. I remember this, okay? It was 73, the oil embargo, and then the Iranian Revolution in 79. But if you look at this shit, guys, look at this, okay? This is like, dude, this is for gas, okay? There were just hundreds of cars, hundreds. I remember my dad once waiting in line for like 6 hours to get a tank of gas. I mean, it was nuts, okay? This was crazy. And then there was a lot of this was going on where people were literally like, sorry, man, we're out, okay? No, I remember in 79, boss, I was 10 in 1979, bro, okay? So they were just out. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy. We had just moved to LA in 78 during the Hillside Strangler killings. I have very intense memories around this time because obviously moving from a town of 3,000 people into a city of like millions was like a massive sensory shock for me. I went to third grade in a school called Vintage Street School that was out off of Sepulveda in Devonshire on the other side of the 405 freeway in the valley. I went into that school, and guys, I had never seen Hispanic people before, okay? I lived in a town of 3,000 people that had one black guy. I went to the Vintage Street School, and like 35% of the kids spoke Spanish. I was in crazy fucking culture shock. It was like wild. And then the Hillside Strangler killings happened, right? And then there was a girl, my sister was 5 years older than me, so she was in middle school, and a high school age girl got kidnapped and abducted like literally like 8 blocks from where we live, okay? So my mom was freaking out about the Hillside Strangler because of my sister. There were also a couple like serial killers that were picking up young boys. So, dude, it was crazy. I was in LA. I was like, what the fuck is going on? My parents were fighting all the time. It was crazy. Then it rained for like a month, dude. There was like a crazy rain. I can't remember if that was like early 70, I don't know, sometime during 78 or what, but we had like a month of rain when a bunch of people came out to visit, and it was like pouring rain for like 22 days or some shit. It was crazy. And then the fucking gas lines and the fucking, oh my God, dude. Dude, it was wild. I mean, from 3rd to 4th grade was like some of the craziest shit. Dude, it was nuts, bro. It was like the most insane like year and a half, dude. Just absolutely crazy shit. The Son of Sam was nuts too. That's right. That was like the crazy summer when it was like all hot and shit. Dude, it was wild, boss. Okay? It was wild, but dude, this gas line stuff was crazy. Okay? There were people that there were just lines, dude, that stretched for like a half a mile. Yeah, Jimmy Carter got hosed, right? Jimmy Carter got fucking so hosed. Dude, it was wild, boss. Okay? It was shit like this. Okay? It was shit like this was going on where these are not parked cars, guys. Look at this. There are people in all these cars. They're not parked cars. They're literally waiting in line to try and get gas. It was insane. It was insane. Now, this type of thing, though, guys, if this were to happen now with the amount of people like using gas and the amount of people dependent on this, this would be like crippling. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. But I will say this. I will say that Exxon, okay? Exxon made a statement. And again, guys, this is going to get crazy too, because what is going to happen is they're going to price gouge as well. Okay, so in addition, if we have shortages and shit, in addition to the shortages, these oil companies are going to gouge us. Okay, they're going to absolutely gouge us for like years afterwards. Okay, now look at what happened. This was Exxon is warning that oil prices could go as high as 160 per barrel in the coming weeks as reserves are depleted. The company's senior VP said we're approaching unheard of inventory levels. I mean, really, really low levels. And again, if you talk to people in Europe, in Canada, in Australia, they're already getting hammered, guys. We have been relatively insulated from this, okay? Because we have been using reserves. We have been doing all kinds of shit to avoid feeling the impact here, all right? This could get quite bad, okay? Now, he said, I think most people don't really appreciate what's happened, Chapman said during the conference. This is the CEO of Exxon. He said, you take arguably 11 or 12 million barrels a day of crude oil out of the global market. The market is about 103, 104 million barrels a day. Normally, you'd see prices go through the roof, right? So every 10 days, like an entire day of supply is like disappearing, okay? Right? So, you know what I mean? That's depleting reserves. All right. And he is warning that the global oil markets could be on the brink of a sharp, sudden price hike. Okay? Right? A price spike with inventory seeking towards what one senior executive called unheard of levels. Okay? And Chapman said the price shock has been softened by a mix of oil inventories, strategic reserve releases, and sanctioned crude already on the water entering the market. But we're running out of that. And not only that, guys, you ready? Here's the other thing that is problematic. Is not only will there be like a price spike, etc., and maybe shortages and whatnot, but what is going to happen is we're depleting our oil reserve right now, our strategic reserve. And eventually, we're going to have to fill that thing back up, and oil is going to be like 3-4 times the cost. So we are then going to take another hit eventually when we try to, replenish the oil supply. Okay? Like literally, we're like the prices of oil will probably not come down for years at this point. And that is what's crazy. Like Trump has caused this shock, gotten into this war to do this shit for Netanyahu, and he has created a global shock that is going to, leave an impact. Like this is going to be his legacy of like causing a worldwide, recession and an energy shortage, right? What a fucking dink, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a fucking dink. Dude, he's so dumb. Dude. So he says that you could debate whether that's going to hit really low levels in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But once you get to that point, you will see prices shoot up. Okay. And right here, you know, so then what will happen is once, you know, the price spikes, then everyone will essentially stop using it. But guys, here's the problem. The problem is this has a rubber band shock effect on everything. Okay? It does, because, you know, the price of oil goes up, the price of gas goes up, the price of all goods go up. Okay? Then people stop traveling. They stop, like, right? They stop flying. They stop going on vacations. They stop going out to dinner, which then, you know, workers are no longer getting tips at their jobs in the hospitality industry. And then those people are not going out and spending money in the economy. And you just have this, like, you know, it's like a ripple of financial impact that just spreads across multiple industries and multiple sectors. And you know, and the only people that benefit are like the big corporations and the credit card companies. That's it. Dude, it's crazy. It's that hospitality hit is really hard too, guys. I mean, don't underestimate that, because when you look, okay, when you look out into your average city or even these rural towns where, you know, during the summer, a lot of these rural towns, their entire economy in the Midwest is built on people going boating at the lake, going water skiing, going to county fairs, traveling through their state and going hunting or fishing, okay? And their entire economy is dependent upon that. Their hotels, their restaurants, their bars, right? All of their fucking, you know, that rural economy is built around tourism in a lot of spots, man. You know, and then when that dries up, dude, they literally have nothing. They go into this winter then with their entire rural area having not been fed with that tourism money. Okay, they have no money going in for the intense then, you know, increases in energy costs for the winter that's coming, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it is, I can't even like overstate how wrecked rural America gets without that tourism, guys. It is brutal. Man, it's so crazy. Like a lot of these small towns in Wisconsin, in, you know, in Michigan, up in the UP, in Minnesota, right? A lot of these small towns in rural Pennsylvania, rural Ohio, right? Upstate New York, into New England and shit, West Virginia, all that shit. Kentucky, you take away that type of rural, like hunting and fishing and vacationing activity. And I mean, dude, they have nothing, okay? That like some of those rural areas will make all the money for their city in like the 3 or 4 months around summer, boss. It's crazy, dude. They're about to get wrecked. Bro, they're going to get wrecked. It sucks, dude. Yeah, dude, Missouri. Oh my God. Missouri is crazy too. Like the Ozarks. Dude, it's just, and for what? And for what, guys? Because Trump wanted to, like, you know, swing a dick with Netanyahu, right? He owed Netanyahu a solid because, you know, a bunch of Israel, like, Zionists gave him like several $100 million, dude, and Saudi Arabia and these other Arab nations were goading Trump into doing it. And Trump is such a sucker and such a patsy, such an idiot that he fucking bought hook, line, and sinker. Devastating, boss. Devastating. Dude, they've been saying Democrats. Dude, I'd rather be a Democrat than a fucking a jackhole. All right? You know, I'll take the Democrat. So yeah, that's a big problem, guys. That is a huge problem. All right? It is not going to be good, dude. Not going to be good, guys. Brutal. I mean, I feel bad, okay? I feel bad because I am, like, really immune to this shit. Like I said, I have a hybrid that gets like 44 miles to the gallon. I also work from home. Jenny works from home. The only driving I do is once a week. I go to a massage appointment that is literally like a 6-minute drive. I may drive to the grocery store one other day, a couple weeks. I don't like spend any money on gas. I have probably spent $100 on gas in the last year. Okay, maybe 120 in a year, bro. So like, I am so insulated from this. But I remember when I had a minivan and I was driving my kid to school every day, 12 miles each way, and I was driving to work several miles each day, and I used to fill my minivan like every 8 days or whatever. I would have to fill it up. I remember that shit, and it went from $40 to fill it to $80 to fill it. Right now, it would probably be like $120 to fill it. I don't know how families with a couple of kids and, you know, driving kids to schools and shit, I don't know how they're surviving, okay? If you live in suburbia with 2 working parents and you have 3 kids to take to school, like, bro, how are you fucking even making ends meet? You know what I mean? It's like, that's what pains me, is like, how are people even surviving? I mean, they have to just be running up credit card debt and hoping that something happens. It's so crazy, dude. It is so crazy. You know, like, unfucking believable, dude. All right, now let's continue with Trump shit, okay? Because right here, you ready? We're going to look at some Trump things. We're going to start with Trump, and then we'll go on to Melania and her stuff. So this was one of the things that happened early, okay, where Iran called off all negotiations with the U.S. This was reported by the New York Post, okay? So this was not, as Trump would say, a fake news outlet reporting this shit. This was reported by the right-wing papers. Okay, I mean, Trump has been saying, he has been repeatedly saying, oh, we're almost there. We got this. We're on the same page. But like, dude, they have never gotten it. Okay, they have never gotten it. They have never been close. This is where it started today, was just more realization that Trump is lying through his teeth. Now, guys, this is really complicated too, because when you think about Donald Trump, okay, this man has not been able to pull off a concert, okay? He can't even throw a 250 anniversary concert because he can't be like amenable to 2 different sides of his own country, okay? He can't even be straight with performing artists and throw a nonpartisan event to celebrate the United States. So him trying to negotiate 2 warring entities and having a 3rd wild card like Netanyahu attacking Lebanon and shit, there's no way he's going to be able to do this. There's no way. I mean, if you look at him, he's touched in the head, okay? He can barely like talk right now, much less, you know, like manage some type of negotiations, okay? He's flip-flopping, like somebody said. They don't think he can pull his pud. I think that's probably accurate. He probably has a staffer pulling the pud right now, you know? So we're in for a world of hurt. And in addition to this, though, he keeps like teetering back and forth. And you ready for this? What is problematic is all of his people, Trump, Kushner, Witkoff, Eric and Don Jr., right? Lutnick, all of them have been involved in like business deals with the Arab countries, with Israel, wanting to reestablish Gaza and hotels and Russia and all this shit. So like, there's so many entanglements there that Iran probably looks at all of them and is like, fuck all of you guys, okay? Because there's no trust, okay? There's zero trust because everybody connected to Trump is like double dealing and in there trying to like loot money out of the region and make all these weird flimsy pacts. And on top of that, Trump all of a sudden decided, oh, he wants everybody to sign on to the Abraham Accords, which is sort of to let Israel off the hook for like 50 years of being a bully. And like, I think the whole region is probably like, fuck Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody there like believes any deal that they come up with, right? Any deal that they come up with, I don't think there's like zero trust with anyone in the Trump admin, okay? Zero. So they have a lot of like, they have a lot of hurdles in addition to Trump being brain dead and having no personal capacity to ride this out. Let's go look at Midas, okay? Because I feel like Midas is usually pretty good at keeping an eye. Dude, shall we? Keep spreading the news. Kermit forever. Let's go. Dude, we will. All right. So I'm gonna start that that fucking goal. Let's go. Thank you, dance party. Dude, we need the pine box more than ever right now. Yeah, this is not good. Look at this shit though. Okay, look at this. May 18th, May 26th, June 1st. Every week he starts. If Iran surrenders, dude. This is literally the same post, guys. Okay? Look at this, guys. He is literally posting the exact same tweet every, 8 days, boss. Bro, it's the same tweet. It's like verbatim. Control-C, Control-V. He is trying to Control-V the war, boss. Wow. Steph, let's go. The quarterback has arrived. Dude, that's insane. Okay? Verbatim 3 times. Okay? And what is Trump doing? Trump is posting AI videos that say, to those negatively chirping, quiet. It will all work out well in the end. It always does. Oh my God, guys. Look at that shit. Look at where they're at. Trump is saying, be quiet. It'll all work out. Source, trust me, bro. What the hell, dude? Some AI video? Dude, I'm sorry, but this is dude, it sort of reeks of, pushover, doesn't it? Doesn't it reek of yeah, just stop making noise. Oh, shush. I promise it'll work out. It always does. Dude, it's really babysitter energy right there. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's babysitter energy. Dude, Tox Muertos, let's go. Just wanted to say happy Pride to all LGBTQ plus everywhere. You all matter and you all deserve to live a happy life. You have an ally here, let's go. Dude, thank you, Tox. Let's get a lot of like support there for Tox. Springing it out, let's go. But yeah, dude, isn't it? Snowcastles rocks, dude. It does. Thank you, Lucy. Appreciate you, boss. Isn't it giving? I mean, when I watch this video, guys, it's giving off very like babysitter or like grandma energy, right? There's not a lot of like, we got this. You know what I'm saying? This is like somebody going into the 9th inning of the ball game when you're behind by 2 runs and the coach saying, shh, quiet everybody. It'll all work out. Oh yeah, it always does. Oh, I'm gonna go shit my pants. Yo, Trumpy. Yeah, political punk here, boss. Dude, this shit is weak, bro. What are you doing? What's with the grandma energy, dude? What are you doing? What? Melania's not pulling the putt anymore, is she? Huh? She hates your ass, right? Yeah? I mean, can you blame her? Dude, what are you doing with your little stink finger up on the lips, bro? You think Iran is impressed by that? You think all the MAGA shitters that are defecting to the America First movement and they're ready to like burn your shit down? You think they're impressed by your little, ooh, quiet piggy? Oh, fuck you. All right, fuck off. Bye-bye. Dude, Pine Box now. Let's go. Oh, my God, dude. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪𝗏𝗏. Bro, poo-poo. Dude, I love 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪𝗏𝗏. Dude, that was such a... Dude, it's the flying car, bro. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪𝗏𝗏. Dude. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪𝗏𝗏. Dude, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗪𝗏𝗏. Chitty bang bang. Chitty chitty bang bang. Chitty bang bang. Chitty chitty bang bang. Chitty bang bang. Chitty chitty bang bang. Chitty bang bang. Fuck you, Trumpy. Pine Box now. Piece of shit, Trumpy. Shitting in the cow. Shitting that diaper. Melania's gone. Cheating with Gavin. Your sons are a yawn. Chitty chitty bang bang. Chitty bang bang. Chitty chitty bang bang. Chitty bang bang. RFK Jr. with the raccoon penis. Kid Rock sticking it up his anus. Chitty chitty bang. Dude! All right. Dude, let's go. Dude, I had the flow going for a minute. I did, dude. I had the flow for a minute, boss. It was the... Then I lost it. Oh, that did take a turn, boss. Once the raccoon penis finds its way into the arsenal, everything goes south from there, dude. Dude, Goldfinger. Dude, let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, Flow Rider, let's go. Dude, hey, man, I'll go fucking perform. Dude, get me in on this Freedom 250. I'll go in there and I'll do like 9 choruses of Trump shits his pants, right? Trump shits his pants. To me, you are so diaper full. Trump shits his pants. Oh, all right. Dude, dude, it's the Elvis diaper, right? I mean, you guys have seen that, right? Haven't you? I think I've shown this before, but it is the image that none of us can forget, boss, right there, dude. Dude, the king, right? The king is in the house, bro. Oh my God. I mean, how accurate is that? That is like Trump's idea of who he is mixed with who he actually is, right? Oh, Jesus, bro. The fucking, he's got a... Just a diaper full, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to die on the toilet, dude. He's going to die standing up, right? Oh, my God. The name of the agent is Jeff Epstein. Of course he is. Oh, fuck, bro. All right. Brutal. That is rough, guys. Dude, I like this. I think this is good where it says same vibes. I mean, it really is, dude. It really is. Like, Trump is like a cornered rat, okay? He is, guys. He is a cornered rat. You know what he is? He is like the carnival huckster who plays the shell game, but everybody has seen the secret. Everybody knows that he's full of it. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I know the exact moment Trump lost his presidency, his power, his ability to smooth and, like, you know, schmooze MAGA, and he lost his legacy the minute he became a lame duck, a guy who could no longer, like, calm the masses of his own people, was the moment he said Epstein was a hoax. Yes, that was it. The minute he went out there and said Epstein is a hoax, he, like, right? He self-destructed everything. Everything. He like ruined all the previous times he had called shit hoaxes. He lost all of the trust with his base, and people just stopped believing him. They stopped believing him. It was like the wizard, the curtains opened and everybody saw the wizard, and they saw this guy and were like, holy shit, bro. That was it. You know, because the thing about it is he could have played that in any sort of way, but to then say this whole thing that, like, we have built our whole movement on this thing, you know, the groomers, the pedos, the whatever, protecting the kids, everything was built on that. These, you know, these demon rats. And then for him to just say, no, it's all made up. Weak. Ineffective, a liar, like untrustworthy, you know, everything he had said to them no longer had meaning. He literally just detonated all of that shit. Seriously, what was his plan anyway? See, that's just it, guys. He doesn't really plan. He just gets heated. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he gets heated and then he goes off the cuff and fucking starts performing. And I mean, he had previously had some luck with the hoax. That had been his go-to. Everything was a hoax. So he just went back to the go-to, but boy, did that blow him up, right? He's just not smart. And I think ultimately, it comes down to one word, guys. And it's the thing that always detonates these guys. You ready? One word always does them in. Hubris. That's it. It is hubris, okay? Because they get to a point, inevitably, where they just think, you know what? I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. I've got these people wrapped around my finger. I'm going to go out there and just give them the 1-2. And that is the shit that fucking gets them. Yes, the strait of hubris. Every time, dude. Every fucking time. I've watched so many of these people that think they are just the kings, and they go out there and they just think they can do anything. And then you're like, God damn, bro. The fuck was that guy thinking, bro? All right, Trumpy. That is very true. Same vibes, right? So here's what it said, okay? This was the final word from them, right? That said, urgent, Iran halts message exchange with America in protest against Zionist crimes. Dude, this is wild too. I have to hand it to Iran. They're pretty sharp because you notice how they're using the word. They know that like Zionism is in the tank and there's worldwide like animosity towards Zionism and the wreck that it's causing in America and in the world. And so the Iranians are just like, dude, they're just very sharp. They know what they're doing here, man. And it sucks because Trump does not. And everybody in Trump's orbit is just a loyalist, dude. None of them have any skills. They all got their jobs because they would be blindly loyal and willing to break the law for Trump. So that's a real problem, guys. When you have a bunch of yes men who can't do their jobs backing you up. Says the resolve of Iran's armed forces and all resistance front access to respond to Zionist crimes and open new fronts. According to Tasnim news agency, in light of the ongoing crimes of the Zionist regime in Lebanon, and given that Lebanon was part of the ceasefire preconditions, and now this ceasefire has been violated on all fronts, including Lebanon, the Iranian negotiating team is suspending discussions and exchanges of texts through intermediaries. The immediate halt to the aggressive and brutal operations of the Zionist regime's army in Gaza and Lebanon, and the necessity of the regime's complete withdrawal from the occupied areas in Lebanon have been emphasized by Iranian officials and negotiators. And as long as Iran's, I don't know what the rest of that says. Additionally, the resistance front and Iran have resolved to pursue the complete closure of the Strait of Hormuz and activation of other fronts, including Bab el-Mandeb Strait. That's the one on the other side, right? That's the one on the fucking Egypt side, as part of their agenda to punish the Zionists and their supporters. So let's find out what it says there on that one. I'm gonna find out what that other one says. Do they have a link here to the text, to the tweets? What are we? Shit. Dude, so fucking brutal, boss. Like, dude, Trump is such an idiot, man. Oh, here we go. So let's see. And then they attack Trump's claim about Netanyahu. Okay. Trump's claim about the results of his phone conversation with Netanyahu. I had a very constructive and fruitful conversation, and no forces will be deployed toward Beirut. Additionally, any forces that were en route to Beirut have already been turned back. Trump also claimed through high-ranking representatives, I had a very good conversation with Hezbollah, and they agreed that all shootings and armed clashes would cease and that Israel would not attack them, and they would not attack Israel either. This claim by the president of the terrorist American government has not been confirmed by Hezbollah in Lebanon up to this moment. Additionally, Trump has not spoken about the necessity the Zionist occupying regime's withdrawal from the occupied areas in fucking Lebanon. Dude, and like, guys, you know what's so crazy? Is like, it's like what Israel right? What Netanyahu in the Israeli government are doing is no different than what Putin is doing in Ukraine. I mean, they're literally just trying to commandeer fucking territory, man, because Lebanon is prime fucking real estate, boss, right? You know, all right, guys, dude, let's go. We got 12 minutes, 24 and 12. All right, let's secure this dance party, guys. We're going to need it. So hold on, let me find this. Oh, all right. So then I guess it's a different. Okay. 12 minutes dance party. All right, I want to find the. There it is. It's this one. Oh, no. I thought it was that one. Is it that one? Shit. Let's go. Dude, ante up, punks. Let's go, Pinky Parker. Thank you, Pinky. Let's go, dude. History buff. You're covering Gildebrand Cruise tonight. So sad. I am not. I don't know what's going on with that. Elvis is dead. Blame the Quaaludes. LFG. Dude, Elvis died on my mom's birthday. So hold on here. I want to find this one. So Iran, according to Tasnim. Let's find this. Oh, I see what it is. No, the reason why I can't find it was in Persian and they translated the Persian and then screenshotted it. Okay. Now I'm like understanding why I can't find that tweet. I was like, dude, why can't I find that tweet? Dude, let's go, Pinky. Let's go, guys. All right, 20 away, 20 and 9, baby. 20 and 9. Let's do it. Let's get it. We're going to secure the dance party. And then we're going to finish up on Trump. We got to look at the 1776 fund. Dude, we have fucking Melania Trump. This shit is crazy. Rot not. Opinions are like a-holes. Delicious. Delicioso. Let's go. We love it. 19 away, guys. Let's get it. So, yeah, no, Melania Trump, there is some damning allegations coming out. YouTube did fix the counter. Yeah. Dude, I mean, shit just kind of goes haywire, guys. This is the way tech works. At least the way I've discovered it is tech works. Then for a while it doesn't work. And then it works again. See, I judge Putin and I judge Netanyahu and I judge our own country, our own country's behavior. But guys, 19, baby, let's go. 8 minutes. Let's get it. 18. No 1776 slush fund. Yes, no, the slush fund is going to be non-existent, guys. There is not going to be a slush fund. Just FYI, Trump is giving up on the slush fund. What's my shirt tonight? This is one of my own shirts. This is a Wanted's Failure Looks So Good t-shirt from my band. Dude, Gen W, let's go. These are available. They're going to be available on the Political Punk, website soon, right? Coming this summer. Dude, they're good shit. They're good shit, boss. She was 17 and he was 76. If you want one right now, you can go to actingliketommie.com, right? There's some stuff at actingliketommie.com. Let's go, Pinky! Let's go! Dude, let's go, guys. 16 away. All right, 16 in 7. 15. Let's go, Korg. Halfway there, guys. Halfway there. Any merch with the Kermit phone? No. The only merch that's going to be sold right now will be existing merch, which will be the Limitless tees and then some of my own band stuff and some music shit. I won't be making any new merch for a while. Yeah, you have to be a little bit bigger before we're not quite big enough, right? Because people will go through merch companies where the companies make it, but then it's like weird and expensive, and I don't do that. Like when I order merch, when I do merch, Pinky Parker, let's go. I have it made locally. I do it locally with a screen printer, a guy like me who has his own business. And so I always have to print in advance. So it's a little bit more complicated with me because I don't use merch companies. I will only source that with local, like handcrafted shit. Gorg, let's go. Because I'm a firm believer in keeping business local and with people that like I trust and connect with, right? Dude, MJ, and you ready for this, guys? You ready? Let me just tell you a story about my merch guy. Okay, we can do it. Almost sent that. BF that. Let's go. Thank you, Dio. So, guys, I want to tell you a story about my merch guy because I've been using the same guy for like 11 years now, okay? Across multiple things. Yes, 11 years. Dude, MJ, let's go. So he did the Dick Strange merch, he did some band merch, and he did all of my multiple runs of gamer merch. But so you ready for this? Check this. So I found this guy local, and I went and met him. I just called him up. I went to his shop. I talked to him. I told him what I did, met him, saw how he operated. And I was like, dude, I like the way you do business. We should start doing business together. And so we did. And we made these glitter hoodies for Dick Strange and all this. Well, when I was touring 20 years ago, I met a woman in Missoula, Montana on her birthday. I didn't have a show that day. I went to this art gallery and I added myself to this show. Dude, MJ, let's go. Dude, 𝗙𝗏𝗃, let's go. Dude, and Mariners are fire. They are. Let's go, Engrain. They're on fire 7 in a row. All right, so 20 years ago, I went to an art gallery in Missoula and I added onto a show, a birthday show with this woman that I had just met. And another guy on that show was a musician from Wisconsin. That night, he met that girl, and they started a whirlwind romance. Eventually, they toured together. I would see them around the country. They got engaged. They met during my set. They ended up getting engaged. And then they moved to Portland. And then several years later, their marriage didn't work out, what have you. But then, I don't know, 7 years after I started working with this merch guy, that woman got a job at his merch place. So this woman I knew from Missoula and had kind of like introduced her to her husband 15 years later, she ended up working at the business that was my merch guy. And he called me one day out of the blue and was like, holy fucking shit, you're never going to guess who works here now. Dude, MJ, let's go. Dude, Pinky, let's go. I mean, that's what it's all about, guys. Is about like, for me, it's about that kind of family vibe, right? I don't do corporate like weird, I do family. Dude, Jesse, let's go. Dude, let's go. Dude, Steph, Pinky, MJ. So guys, 3 minutes, 2 away, guys. Holy shit, boss. Holy shnikes. We just blew through this shit. 2 more. 2 and 3, guys. Easy, dude. Pinky, let's go. But yeah, I do local, guys. I do local. I do. I like that shit. I've always done that too. I've been making merch since 1999. Okay, 26 years of making merch across many, many bands, many, many musical acts, gaming, like film crew stuff. I have never once used a like merch company where they like create the merch and mail it out and that impersonal shit ever. I have always ordered merch designed and created by local fucking, business people, locally operated, like individually owned businesses. I just believe in it. One more, guys. I believe in that shit, boss. There it is. MJ, dude, we hit it. Goal. Goal. All right, you ready? Now we can move on. Now we got the dance party secured. We know we're safe. Now we're gonna finish up the day. All right, we're gonna finish it up. We're gonna burn through, guys. Can you order a pine box on Kermit phone, dude? Nerdy. I will look into that. All right, we're gonna juice into that. Okay, you ready? So the other way Trump took a beating was with the slush fund, guys. Okay, this is huge. All right, is right here. Okay, so the U.S. Department of Justice disagrees strongly with the decision on the anti-weaponization fund put forth by the U.S. District Court judge in the Eastern District of Virginia. Okay, where the court stated that under no circumstances may the DOJ proceed with the anti-weaponization fund recently established in order to make up for the tremendous abuse, harm, and hate unfairly shown to so many people. Oh, touch my pee-pee. This fund was open to anybody who was so weaponized, targeted, or persecuted, whether they were Democrat, Republican, conservative, independent, or otherwise. The department will abide by the court's ruling. Okay, so they did take a big loss in court. Now, I really, some of this shit is simply not going to happen because they are consistently trying to sort of bend the rules, not abide by the Constitution. Okay, he did take a huge fucking loss here. All right, let me see here. Where is it? Let's see. Dude, it's such bullshit. Okay? Look at what they've done to look at what they've done to the White House, guys. What have they done, bro? Look at that shit. Jesus, dude. They have just decimated. Like, you know what I mean? They've made it just a spectacle. Garish, my girdle, MMA fight, blood, sweat, and mosquitoes. Let's go, Shelly! Unfucking believable. Okay? Where is it? Let's find it. He talked about it. I think it was today. Oh, there's dude, Tina Peters. Dude, right? Of course. Dude, this is so funny. This is why the Colorado governor, why did he release this fucking idiot? Okay? Seriously. Why did he release her? Because the minute she gets out, she's just going to start lying and creating chaos. What a fucking asshole. Jared Polis. I mean, I don't know if his term is up, but he will never win another election. I hope he's termed out, because if he is, dude, he's done. He just ended his political career. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's find this. Let's find this bit here. All right, here. I'm going to do it this way. We're going to just go into the search bar up here. Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was on this. Okay, maybe it wasn't on this. Maybe it was Midas. Dude. Oh shit, bro. This is crazy, dude.
Congress just an incredibly rare sight. Congress just politically body slammed Trump. They just pushed back on him. An incredible rarity in Trump 2.0, but one that's clear nonetheless. Republicans were supposed to be here today, voting on a huge Trump priority, his national security so-called reconciliation bill, one of those party line Republicans only bills to get his immigration and customs enforcement spending approved. They couldn't do it. They didn't want to vote on all these toxic amendments to try to defund his $1.8 billion slush fund for convicted criminals, crooks, and cop beaters, which left Republicans scurrying to avoid the questions and avoid the amendments. Take a listen, though, one at a time, to how Democrats pounced on this, indicating we could already be in a lame duck Congress.
Dude, it's wild. Like Mike Johnson is already, he's already eunuched
in Trump 2.0.
Yeah. So Congressman, it looks like there's going to be another long vacation. What do you make of that? Like, are we entering the lame duck period of Mike Johnson's speakership?
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember the last half of the year, especially in election years, we're not in session. So most of the legislative days come before the end of July. And you see these guys trying to fund this slush fund, trying to pay for that ballroom.
Dude, it's crazy because, guys, like he said, the back half of the year is all about the election. So Congress, all of their legislation shit is like now. So what does that mean? That means that in addition to going into the election with high gas prices, high prices of everything, still in a war, everything fucking collapsing, they're not even passing any of their basic shit. Like, they're going into election season with 0 wins, and they've spent all their time trying to fund the slush fund and whatever. They're going to have like a UFC match, all the music cancels. Like, they're literally going to walk into elections having accomplished nothing. And Mike Johnson can't even get them to pass their basic fucking legislation, boss. They're so fucked. They are fucked, bro. They're just, it's just brutal.
And this thing seems to have broken down because of that.
With everybody leaving town early, is this the beginning of the lame duck of Mike Johnson's speakership? What'd you say?
Who are you?
Complimentary, because I'm filming it for Midas Touch.
Good for you, man.
What's that?
I said good for you, man.
Okay.
Dude, did you see him? He didn't want to answer. He said, "Who are you?" The Republican guy. But did you see the look on his face when he heard the lame duck of Mike Johnson? He was like, they know it, but they know it. And I mean, guys, let me just put it to you this way. These Republican guys are damned if they do and damned if they don't. Okay? Because if they stand up to Trump, he's going to try and primary them. And if they don't stand up to Trump, he's going to fuck them over anyway. And he's going to create a situation where they get voted out because their constituents are suffering. And I can't help but think, guys, I literally can't help but think about Lindsey Graham, okay? I can't help but think about this, guys, every time. It's Lindsey Graham here. This one from 2016. If we nominate Trump, we will get destroyed and we will deserve it. And now everybody thought, 2016, a little bit of that happened in 2020. But I feel like this is what it's going to end with, where the Republicans, like the whole Republican Party, is going to get destroyed. And you're going to have Rubio and Tucker and Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens and J.D. Vance all like scrambling to try and pick the fucking meat off the carcass of what was formerly the Republican Party. But when the dust settles, like after Trump, there's going to be nothing left of that party for like 20 or 30 years. Like, it is just going to be a fucking disaster, boss. It is going to be a disaster, you know, by 2028 or 2032. There's going to be nothing left of that party, dude.
What do you think? Is it?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
Is any more work going to get done though in this Congress? Or is it pretty much over? Nothing.
Nothing.
All of Mike Johnson's speakership has been a lame duck. I mean, he's accomplished absolutely nothing, not a goddamn thing.
Well, you got
this is a shit show. This is a waste of time. This is incompetence. I mean, they should be embarrassed. And you know, I mean, again, they abruptly decided to, you know, go back home because they're fighting amongst themselves.
I think it's stupid. I think we should have stayed here and worked. I'm disappointed in the Senate, but I'm always disappointed in the Senate. And I just think it's a waste of taxpayers' money. We wasted a whole dadgum week. And
a whole dadgum week. By the way, Tim Burchett from Tennessee, he's wearing his wife's panties right now. Yo, for Pride Month. Yo, dadgum. What up? Political punk here. Dude, you're looking mighty fine in your wife's panties. I hear that Tennessee declared National, what'd you declare? Nuclear Family Month. And so you're wearing your wife's panties all month. And Riley Gaines' husband, he's going to Benny Johnson's house every night, all month. Yeah, here it's going to be some good times. Hee-haw. Woo! Yeah. All right. Dadgum. Dude, you look pretty sexy in those panties. I know they're like granny panties, but still, you're looking good, all right? You keep it up now. Nuclear Family Month. Oh, hee-haw. Bye-bye. Fuck you. Dude. Dude, Jasper and Cooter, let's get Cooter on the phone. Oh, shit. Wasted a whole dude, I never forget to say fuck you at the end, boss. I got you. Dadgum week.
I think it's kind of pathetic.
It seems like we're sort of entering the era of Mike Johnson, of the lame duck era of Mike Johnson's speakership.
That ship has sailed a long time ago. This guy has no control over his conference, no control over the Congress.
None.
Do you think that as Trump gets more toxic against his own Republicans, though, there will exist a possibility of more bipartisan legislation going forward?
Well, what is happening is people are joining together and forcing discharge petition votes, right? You know, discharge petition vote used to be really rare. They're starting to happen a lot more because people are fed up. They said, you know, if Mike Johnson and the Republican conference isn't going to lead, we're going to come together in small groups and we're going to force votes as the American people desire.
Dude, see, that's just it. Like, in the end, guys, can I just tell you, and I said this from the beginning because I didn't want to get too down, but in the end, America will have been saved from fascism by one, the American people fighting ICE, fighting back, people like Gavin Newsom and Pritzker and Tina Kotek fighting in court right? Attorneys general across the country fighting these assholes in court, and by the incompetence of the people in the Republican Party. Okay, Mike Johnson, he will fucking polish Trump's knob, right? Oh, come here, Trumpy. Oh, let me shine it up for you. Come here. Oh, yeah, that's good, Daddy. Right? But he is completely incompetent, Mike Johnson. He has not been able to guide the Republican Congress. He hasn't been able to get them to get together on any votes. I mean, there were mutinies, discharge petition for the Epstein files. Dude, he's just lost everything, bro. The guy, like, literally can't do anything. He gets on the airplane and shines their knob and shit, holds RFK Jr.'s balls while they eat some raccoon penis together. But other than that, dude, other than that, and like going to Benny Johnson's house for the weekend, dude, the guy has just gotten nothing done. And to the point of where there's, 217 Republican members of Congress, and almost every single one of them is worried about losing their seat because Mike Johnson has prevented them from getting anything done. Dude, that's what's crazy. Like, all those Republicans are worried about, like, shit, I'm going to be voted out of office because the speaker has done nothing, bro. I mean, it is brutal, dude. It is brutal, right? It is fucking brutal, boss. All right. And where is the slush fund? Let's see here. Right here. Okay. Where is it? So yeah, this was it. Okay. This was, it was a couple days ago where the federal judges blocked, right, the 1776 fund, the $1 billion fund. Dude, Game Shark, off topic, but I've been focusing energy on Maga capitulating Dems. Can we start a new thing by calling useless Dems Garlands? All right, dude, let's go. Like a Judy Garland. Let me find the tweet I was looking for. There was a tweet. I can't remember who I saw it from. Good. Dude, there have been a lot of fucking like of lawyers that have really helped. M's with 7 straight W's. Let's go, JP Marine. Let's go. Yeah, dude, the Mariners are killing it, dude. What a great game today. Dude, let me find. Oh, fuck, bro. Did I bookmark it? Hold on. Let me see if I bookmarked this. No, I guess I didn't. I have some Epstein shit. I know Johnson was in it. Give me 1 sec to find this. Oh, right here. So this is what I saw right here. Okay? Dude, not Judy, Merrick Garland. I know F that guy. I know Game Shark. But I said Judy Garland because I think it's even more fitting. You want government to get more done? Don't get too cocky. Remember where the Democrats are, LOL. Dude, I don't know where you interpolated me saying wanting government to get more done. There was never a question of that. I was talking about how Republicans are not going to get any shit done and how it's going to threaten all their seats. All right, so news right here. Trump is expected to drop his plans for the anti-weaponization fund, per 2 sources confirming Axios. Statement coming soon, and it's because of backlash from the Hill Republicans. Trump and Johnson met at the White House. There was the legal setback because that judge was like, yeah, this is a no-go. right? The DOJ said, okay, we're going to respect the judge's order. But the real problem is the mutiny on the fucking Capitol Hill. Because basically what happened was Trump was pressing for this thing. There was a huge legal setback. And then, like that Midas reporter said, all of the people in Congress were like, you know what? We're not even going to vote on your fucking reconciliation bill. So then Trump and Johnson are like, okay, well, dude, if he wants any win at all, okay, any win, they have to just give it up. And it says that Dems and some Republicans may still want to add amendments to the ICE bill, restricting the fund from being resurrected. So that's what happens. Trump tries to do this weaponization fund. They get nothing but bad press and pushback from top to bottom. Constituents, public reaction, the media, everybody, even the Republicans in Congress. So now Trump has to either choose his basic legislation, right? The reconciliation bill to fund ICE and everything, the government. He has to choose that or fight for the fund. And now it's saying that the Republicans and the Democrats and some Republicans may now put amendments into his reconciliation bill and say, hey, we're not going to fund your ICE if you don't fucking eliminate this thing completely. So, dude, he's getting fucked, bro. Oh, dude. And again, they just can't fucking do anything right. Now, I do want to make a statement, guys, because I think it's pretty ironic that in the end of all this shit, America and the whole world got fucked by Trump's Johnson. Dude, isn't that ironic? That at the end of the day, Trump's Johnson was just a total failure and just fucked the whole world, dude. Right? Isn't that wild? Trump's Johnson. Epic fail. Oh, shit, bro. Dude, yeah, I know. That paints a picture, right? Dude, it's crazy. If there were a god, Mike Johnson would be straddling a bolt of lightning. Dude, I think that's what Benny Johnson calls it. He calls up Mike Johnson and is like, yo, Mikey, you want to come over and have straddle the bolt of lightning? Dude, Mike Johnson's like, I'll be right over. Coming, dadgum, I'm bringing Tim Burchett. We're going to get all hopped up on drag and straddle the bolt of lightning. All right. Well, let's go. All right. Dude, we got two more things to cover, guys. Now, guys, this is some big news here. Okay, right here. Came out today. Okay, there was a story in the Daily Beast that came out today right here, dude. Melania named in bombshell new Epstein claims. Okay, this is really significant, guys. Okay, a lot of hubbub has been floating around in the air about Melania Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And it is all centered around Paolo Zampolli, who was another one of these skeezy fucking model guys, okay, in the 90s, out there, like, abusing women. And, he ended up dating a young woman named Amanda Ungaro from Brazil, a Brazilian model. All right, he marries her. They have a kid together. Then he asked Trump to deport her because they're having a custody battle over the kid. And so he deports Amanda. Trump steps in. ICE helps Trump's Epstein buddy, Paolo Zampolli, and they deport Amanda Ungaro. Now she started, speaking up. She got on Twitter. She started outing things. Melania had that crazy batshit press conference. Okay, let's look at a little bit where she just out of the blue just had like one day, she shows up, okay, and is just out of the blue is like, yo, me and Jeffrey Epstein 𝗵𝗡. You find it. There it is this one.
Good afternoon. The lies linking me with the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein.
With Epstein.
Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence.
Oh, yeah.
My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note.
Trivial.
I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump.
Okay, so there we go. Now that's been her big claim, is that Epstein did not introduce her to Donald Trump. And supposedly Paolo Zampolli introduced Melania to Donald Trump. However, the scuttlebutt that has always existed around this was that Epstein knew Melania first. This was Andrew Lowney, the author who wrote the book about Prince Andrew, put this in his book. Michael Wolff has talked about this. There have been many people who have talked about the scuttlebutt that Melania was not only in Epstein's sort of crew, but that Epstein had been sleeping with her and that she had in fact even worked for him, as an escort. And that is how Trump met, Melania, was through Epstein. Now, that would explain a lot. That would explain a lot of why Melania didn't care about Trump's infidelity, why Melania didn't care about Stormy Daniels or Karen McDougal or any of the affairs or any of the BS, why Melania is making a movie with Jeffrey Epstein devotee Brett Ratner directing it, a guy who was on the island, guy who was, very close with Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel. I mean, her being in the center of this would just make so much sense with the way she has behaved and the way she has existed in this realm. Now, I think it's pretty common knowledge about her connection to Epstein. And I feel like that has always been, part of the rumor mill and part of the, assumed discussion. When we do look at Melania here, hold on. So if you look at Melania and Epstein together, like obviously we have these, images from, gatherings at Mar-a-Lago. But as you can see though, guys, when you see these images, these were not like just party pictures. Okay, there are people that do party pictures. Okay, they have events and the photog shows up and they do party pictures. But when you look at these guys, I mean, you can see her hair and her hair, Ghislaine and Melania's hair is stringy and wet, you can see that they've been dancing. Okay, if you look at it, the men have not been dancing. The men were hanging out, doing what they do, probably talking shit about the women, but the women were fucking dancing together. They're in these photos with the stringy hair, okay? And there's another one of them where Melania is clearly jacked on coke, okay? Look at her, dude. She is like so, spun. I mean, but they're like body to body, right? With their girls, blah, blah, blah. She says, oh, I don't know him. I only knew him socially. Now, it gets even weirder, guys, when you throw Prince Andrew in the mix, okay? Because here they are at Mar-a-Lago, and there's Melania, and there's Gwendolyn Beck, a known swinger, Prince Andrew and Epstein, and they're like hanging out. Now, this is not the only time they've been together. There was a Heidi Klum had the Pimp and Hose party, and Ghislaine and Andrew and Trump and Melania were there. They were at all kinds of fashion events. And now, around the time that Melania met Trump, Epstein and Trump were best buddies. Okay, they were. They had shared some girls, like that Norwegian woman. What was her name? Fucking, hold on, let me find her name. Middlefair, yes, thank you. 𝗙ine Middlefair, right? They had both dated Middlefair, right? Hassan band, did you cover it? Did I miss it? Guide me, please. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, right? A tiny bit at the end of the stream yesterday. So there's like a very deep connection with these guys. Now, Melania has gone out of her way trying to distance herself from this. And naturally, when she did this presser was in response to Amanda Ungaro. Okay. Now, the reason why we're bringing this up is because Amanda Ungaro released some audio, okay, that was a bombshell. She recorded some audio, she released it on Twitter, and then she deleted the tweet after people had picked it up. And we have this video, okay? This is Amanda Ungaro talking about Paolo Zampolli, because what has been going on is Paolo Zampolli has, Melania's been threatening James Carville, Michael Wolff, anybody who speaks up about her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. She's been threatening the $10 billion lawsuits. And, Carville pulled a video down. Hunter Biden and Michael Wolff both said, fuck you, right? Well, Amanda Ungaro released this audio the other day talking about Paolo Zampolli and Melania Trump, okay? She's talking to Paolo about Melania. She's also addressing Melania in here as well.
Let's tell the public you never was the one introducing Melania to Trump. It was Jeffrey Epstein. She was a escort of Jeffrey Epstein. That's how she met Donald Trump. Okay? You are like a fucking piece of shit that supposedly asking a favor to be in the power with the titles, and then Melania cover you and you cover Melania. Let's be honestly, nobody's a fucking stupid here. And I know because I was with you 20 years and you always told me it was not you, was Jeffrey Epstein.
So there you go. So she's talking to Paolo. Dude, you gotta love her. I mean, is she feist or what? She calls him out. I've been with you 20 years And you know, we're not stupid. You're a fucking piece of shit. I mean, the reality is, guys, is Trump gave Paolo Zampolli a title. He gave him an ambassadorship in order to have Paolo be like, yes, I introduced them. I'm covering. I mean, they're hiding millions of documents. Yes, we will listen to it again. Dude, I have listened to this like 50 times. I love it because Amanda Ungaro is a powerhouse, guys. She is. Hold on, let me get in here. Let's look at her. She is. All right, just so you can see the woman here, okay? Let me find a good recent photo of her. Like, here she is, okay? This is her, all right? She is a fucking powerhouse, boss. She is a Brazilian, you know, I mean, when I think of Brazilians, I think of Tom Brady's ex-wife, Gisele Bündchen, okay? Brazilian women are fucking like, they are forces to be reckoned with, okay? I know a guy who was the head of the film school in Brazil, and his wife is Brazilian. Dude, she's amazing. The Brazilian women are fucking, they don't fuck around, okay? And here she is with Paolo Zampolli. This is another photo of her and Paolo. This is a little bit of an old one. But so Trump bought them off with ambassadorships, okay? Let me find, yeah, here's the one. This is the one that is really telling. Because this is recent, guys. This is Amanda Ungaro, Trump, and Melania. My God, dude, her face is cooked. Look at Paolo. Dude, he is such a creeper. And there's their kid. Now, ultimately, what happened was they were going through divorce proceeding. I said this before. She was, you know, had the kid, and Paolo wanted to, like, get custody of his son. So he went to Trump and said, hey, can we have ICE deport her? And that's what they did. They deported her to Brazil, and he took the kid. I mean, they're so dirty. But now she's throwing them under the bus. Okay, you ready? Let's listen to this again. Dude, I love her.
Let's tell the public you never was the one introducing Melania to Trump. It was Jeffrey Epstein. She was a escort of Jeffrey Epstein. That's how she met Donald Trump. Okay? You are like a fucking piece of shit that supposedly asking a favor to be in the power with the titles, and then Melania cover you and you cover Melania. Let's be honestly, nobody's a fucking stupid here. And I know because I was with you 20 years and you always told me it was not you, was Jeffrey Epstein.
Dude, so there you go, dude. Dude, so she fucking is sinking them. All right? Now, there's a lot in there because she's saying that Paolo Zampolli did not introduce Melania to Epstein or Melania to Trump. Okay? Paolo Zampolli did not introduce Melania to Trump. And in fact, that she was an escort. Melania Trump was an escort for Jeffrey Epstein. And that is how they met. And that Paolo's always known this, and he's only covering for Melania because Trump wanted to, and that's why Trump gave the ambassador titles, etc. Right? And so let me see what Zampoli's official title is. He is, he appointed it. All right, so Trump put him on the board of trustees at the Kennedy Center. All right. And that was originally, and then he was named Trump's special envoy for global partnerships. Okay. And that is, I guess, what his title is. All right. So he's not an ambassador. He is the U.S. Special Representative for Global Partnerships, which represents the United States in various international settings, acting as a high-level envoy for trade, diplomacy, and strategic partnership. Dude, AKA, dude, it is just a title. Dude, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And yes, these guys, okay, let's be very clear about who Zampolli was back in the day, okay? Because Zampolli, so it started centered around John Casablancas. That is the father of Julian Casablancas from the Strokes. John Casablancas had a modeling agency called Elite Models. He was the guy in New York, and he was a good friend of Trump's, okay? Now, Julian Casablancas from the Strokes did not have a good relationship with this guy, all right? So don't associate the Strokes with him. But let me just show you John Casablancas, like they go way back with Trump and Epstein. And I'm going to show you a photo here from the 90s with the kids, okay? Where it is right here, okay? It is this photo where you have Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, you have Eric and Ivanka, okay? Trump is with the kids. This is John Casablancas right here. Okay, this is John Casablancas of Elite Models. He was the center of the modeling agency in the 90s, okay? Now, this was their game. Casablancas would bring models over from Italy, from France, from Russia, what have you, right? And then part of what he did was when he had events, Casablancas would require those models to show up and do things, be the entertainment. That was originally where these guys got their feet wet in this shit, was through Trump's friendship with John Casablancas. Eventually, Trump started his own Trump Models. And Trump Models exclusively brought women from Eastern Europe. And when I say women, I use that loosely because some of them were women, but most of them were girls. They were like 14 to 17, okay? But there were some women that were 18 and up, but most of them were girls, okay? Now, what would happen is Trump would import these Eastern European girls, and then he would put them up in his properties. There would be like 10 of them to an apartment, and they would be paying exorbitant amounts of rent. So Trump would get them a modeling job here or there. He would require them to come and service his buddies at parties. Okay, that's like the guy from 2 Live Crew talked about those crazy fucking parties. And then Trump would charge them exorbitant rent. So what he was doing is he was bringing underage girls from Eastern Europe here, pimping them out at parties and charging them to live here. And then they were never actually becoming successful models. And eventually, when they'd be done with them, they would just ship them back to Europe. Now, eventually, Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel started their own MC2 modeling agency. But that's what these guys did. Now, Melania was from Slovenia. Okay, she came over here young. And Amanda Ungaro is now essentially tying her to Epstein and saying, yeah, she was an escort of his and she was trying to become a model. And that's how she met Trump. And of course, once she became Trump's girl, she started actually having a modeling career, a limited one. But you can look online. She did some shoots for GQ in Trump's plane and whatever. Some half naked shit. Now, again, I'm not going to judge any of these women for doing naked modeling. I don't have an issue with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with women modeling naked and making a living that way or being adult film stars or what have you. I don't even have an issue with women being escorts. Okay. I don't. I mean, it's like a legitimate profession. I do, however, have an issue with women being like SA'd and being trafficked and escorting because they have to, because they've been trafficked here and being stuck, and then marrying the trafficker and covering up for him and these other abusers for 20 fucking years. And yes, again, women doing escorting, like when they're choosing it, is like very different than being brought over here when you're a fucking teenager and being forced into that shit by these predators. Okay? But now this Daily Beast article, this is a bombshell, guys. Okay? It says, you know, that Amanda Ungaro has claimed that Melania Trump was an escort. Okay? She dropped the bombshell allegation on a taped recording talking to Paolo Zampolli about lying about introducing them. And again, they use one of the pictures we looked at. All right? The story of how Melania Naus, that's Melania Trump, that's her maiden name, later met her future husband while working as one of Zampolli's models in New York is part of the folklore. Okay? She had that surprise press conference saying, I didn't know Epstein. They're lying about me. But in the recording, Ungaro just did a tell-all. Okay? We listened to the recording, and there is another photo of them in 2022 at New Year's. Melania Trump, Amanda Ungaro, and Paolo Zampolli. Look at that shit, dude. These guys were very close. Okay? Amanda Ungaro was an insider. She was like very like deeply in this. I mean, as you can see, these are not just, she's not some random woman making a crazy claim. Okay? And so Ungaro was 17 when she boarded Epstein's private jet, the Lolita Express, from Paris to New York in June of 2002. She was accompanied by her then agent, Jean-Luc Brunel, who was a recruiter for Epstein. Now, guys, you got to look at this, okay? Because this is Melania's movie, all right? Melania's movie was directed by Brett Ratner, a known SA abuser. This is Brett Ratner. This is the director of Melania's movie last fucking year. This is Jean-Luc Brunel, the modeling agent. That's them at Epstein Island together. Okay, this is the guy who introduced Amanda Ungaro to Paolo Zampolli and Jeffrey Epstein. And he was later arrested by French authorities. And while he was in jail, he ended up unaliving himself just like Jeffrey Epstein did. So, guys, I mean, like, they're all tied together, okay? Isn't that crazy? They are like lock, stock, and barrel, guys, okay? They, like, Ungaro has been deeply connected to Melania, and she is like, they are all in this world together, boss. Okay? And it's all coming out. It is all coming out, boss. And I'm here for it. Now, there is, if you want to look into this, there is a guy on Twitter, okay, named Anthony Andrews. Okay, now this guy he knows Amanda Ungaro. Okay, this guy, I'll put his information here. This guy is following this story, and he is in contact with Amanda Ungaro, and he is about, right? He is, right? She follows him. And so basically this guy has been a sort of a like go-between. Like Amanda Ungaro will come out, she will drop information, and then this guy will help disseminate it. And he's working with her to get the truth out there and to provide context, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, we are going to like look at some of this interview stuff later. We're not going to do it tonight because I do have other topics. There are going to be a handful of videos about this, but I believe that as we go through this stuff is going to come out. Okay, right? And they have receipts here. Okay, Zampolli is trying to insist that he is not talking to these people but you know, Anthony Andrews and Amanda Ungaro, they do have receipts of their contact with everybody, and the fact that they are trying to fucking, right? Look at this, right? While Vance was with Zampolli in Hungary, they were harassing Victoria Drake in the middle of the night. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So they were harassing people, and the people are keeping receipts of this. And so again, this is Trump, this is Melania, this is Vance, this is Lutnick, this is Bannon, this is literally like most of Trump's inner circle that are all involved in this cover-up. This is Todd Blanche, this is Ghislaine, this is, you know, the 3 million fucking, you know, Epstein files that are still being hidden illegally, mind you. This is includes Ehud Barak and Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Bill Clinton and, like, you know, so much of the high level academia people and government officials from multiple countries. And this shit is all coming out. It is going down, guys. And we will be doing continuing coverage. Okay? We will be doing continuing coverage, guys. All right? We're gonna look into all this stuff. All right? I want to listen to the video one more time. Okay? Hold on one sec. Let's listen to her video one more time. So here, so if you wonder who Victoria Drake is, all right, she is one of the women that was part of this investigation, okay? And she's saying that she met Zampolli at a Mar-a-Lago event and attended by Trump, and then was later invited to his residence on the 23rd, okay? And so she, right, is basically saying she was transported, right, by car to Trump's residence, and then she blacked out, okay, right? And, or is she saying it was Paul Zampoli's residence? I can't remember here. It was, let me confirm this because I don't want to give out bad information here. So, all right, so no, it was Zampolli, okay? It was not Trump. It was, so she was saying she met Paulo at Mar-a-Lago at a Trump event, and then Paulo invited her to his diplomatic residence in New York. A car came and picked her up, and then she had some alcohol in the car, and then she blacked out, okay? And so she has been like a part of this, you know, kind of a recent victim of saying she was victimized by these people, implying that this type of shit is still going on in the Trump Mar-a-Lago, you know, circles. And, right? And so the fact that if JD Vance and Paolo Zampolli are like trying to pressure her at like 4 a.m. to get her to like shut up and stop talking to reporters and shit, I mean, it just kind of implies that everybody knows about this stuff, and the fact that it's still going on, guys. And this is one of the things that is crazy is Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2005, and he got the plea deal in 2007, and he did 15 months of like barely any jail time. But the whole time he was in jail and going out on work release, Epstein was still abusing women. And then years later in 2018, 2019, Epstein and those guys were still abusing women and girls, even right up to the time when he got arrested. And basically, the implication is that these fucking guys are still abusing women out of like Mar-a-Lago to this day, okay? And I don't doubt this for a minute, okay? I don't doubt this for a minute, you know? He was allowed out. He had like 10 hours a day or like 12 hours a day work release, something like that. Yeah, he was out like all day. Like, yeah, it was crazy. He basically 6 days a week, Epstein was out in a private office having girls come to his office during the day while you know, sheriff's deputies or whatever just looked the other way. And then he spent the night in jail, and then 1 day a week he was actually in jail. That was his punishment for 15 months. So yeah, continuing story. We're going to keep following this, guys. Follow that Anthony Edwards guy. Let's listen to her one more time, though, because Amanda Ungaro is a peach.
Let's tell the public you never was the one introduced Melania to Trump. It was Jeffrey Epstein. She was a escort of Jeffrey Epstein. That's how she met Donald Trump. Okay? You are like a fucking piece of shit that
Dude, I love her.
supposedly like ask a favor to be in the power with the titles, and then Melania cover you and you cover Melania. Let's be honestly, nobody's a fucking stupid here. And I know because I was with you 20 years and you always told me it was not you, was Jeffrey Epstein.
Dude, I mean, you listen to her, dude. She's like, she, you can just hear it in her voice. She's not making this shit up. She's literally like laughing at how fucking stupid this is and going off on this guy. Like, I believe her. I mean, when you look at the connections, you know, Casablancas, Trump, Epstein, Brunel, Ungaro, Melania, Andrew, the interwoven web. I mean, there is no doubt, guys. There is no doubt. All of these guys were fucking pigs. All right. There we go. But yeah, man, this is some damning shit. There is 𝗙cie and Vance and Paolo Zampolli. This is from their trip to fucking Hungary, right? And they're harassing Victoria Drake because she is talking to reporters. And we're going to have a lot more of this, guys. We are going to go deep, deep in on this shit, guys. All right? Deep, deep in. All right? We are. We're going to cover it all. All right? All right. Moving on. We got one more item on the agenda tonight, guys. That is a bombshell. Okay? The last thing I want to talk about tonight, guys, is Sesame Street. Okay? And why are we talking about Sesame Street? Because, guys, it is Pride Month. Okay? And today, obviously, every June 1st, we go through this every year, where the baseball teams, the hockey teams, the sports teams, they wish people Pride Month, a happy Pride Month, right? Because they have so many fans, and realistically, 20% of the baseball players and football players, even though they can't be out because those sports are such toxic shitholes, we know there's tons of gay players and have always been, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this year, it's been particularly explosive for the MAGA meltdowns around Pride Month. And why? Because MAGA thought their woke was over. Okay? They thought they had conquered it. Trump's 1.4% eked out victory made them think they had some mandate. and they were just going to Project 2025 the whole society. And they discovered that no, they, in fact, woke is still here. Woke still owns them, and they have been shitting themselves, okay? Freaking out by this. Now, guys, people have been engaged in like insane behavior. Look at this, guys. You ready? Let me just show you. These are posts from a guy named Nathan Roberts. Okay, Nathan Roberts is part of TPUSA. Okay, Nathan Roberts went around to every team and said, I am a lifelong UNC football and basketball fan. I'm canceling my season tickets. Then he goes to the Royals. I am a lifelong Royals fan. I'm so upset about Pride Month. I'm canceling my season tickets. He did this to multiple sports teams, right? The Pacers, the Pirates, the Buccaneers, across all different sports, college and pro. This sad sack. Like, what a sad sack. I mean, think of that. How pathetic of a piece of shit do you have to be to get in the replies all day of like all these sports teams and lie about having season tickets? Now, you ready, guys? He went and did it to even more teams, the Packers, the Eagles, the Commanders. But look at this. There is Nathan, right? Or there is Nathan Roberts from TPUSA. And who's he with, dude? He's with the very flamboyant gay Scott Presler. Isn't that funny? Does he have a job? No, he doesn't have a job. He works for TPUSA. So they sit around on the internet all day and jerk each other, or they provide male lovers for Erica Kirk, or they cry about Charlie Kirk, try to get somebody fired. But there he is hanging out with the flamboyantly gay Scott Presler. Meanwhile, he spent all day being like, oh, I'm going to cancel my season tickets. Oh, pride. Oh, wait, I got to go take a photo with Scotty Presler. Oh, thank you, Scotty. We love you. Handies. Oh, no pride. Dude, what morons. Now, guys, Scott Presler, flamboyantly gay, okay? They don't have an issue with gay. Okay, if you look at Sophia Hutchins, hold on, rest her soul. Okay, Sophia Hutchins, here's Sophia Hutchins, guys. You ready? Hold on, let me grab the photo. There is Sophia Hutchins. She passed away in an ATV accident in Malibu a while ago. But here's Sophia Hutchins, a very well-known transgender woman, very good friends of Caitlyn Jenner, another transgender woman. And where is this photo? This photo's in the ladies' room of Mar-a-Lago. So the same people that cry about trans women using the bathroom, they're like taking photos with Sophia Hutchins in the ladies' room, right? So at Mar-a-Lago, the trans women go to the ladies' room and all the women are fine with it. They're taking photos. They love it. Scott Presler is hanging out with Nathan Roberts, right? They love it, right? But then everybody else who like celebrates pride or is, having any type of like gay existence, they're like, oh, I'm going to cancel my season tickets. You guys need to hide. You need to get out of here. You can't be gay. Blah, blah, blah. Dude, they're like bullshit. But then, you ready? Then the nuclear bomb hit. And what was the nuclear bomb, guys? It was this tweet that happened earlier today. You ready? Here it is. It was, I'm going to find the one that we can click on. It was this. Sesame Street said, Happy Pride Month from Sesame Street. Join us in celebrating and uplifting the LGBTQIA plus members of our community. And then they did this lovely like Muppet fur in multiple colors. And this was the detonation. Okay, this caused an eruption. And you're going to see people in here, right? This is somebody who says, as a lesbian, I'm fucking livid for pushing this garbage at little kids. Wibs of TikTok says this is absolutely disgusting. Isn't this a show for kids? Right? And like, this is disgusting. You need to be investigated. They call them demons. They went on and on. Elmo telling kids to follow their sexual desires, blah, blah, blah. Now, this woman, Megan Basham, we are going to talk about her individually in a minute, but you have all the usual suspects. Joel Webbin, he is one of those like pastors, right? There's Tectone, right? Yada, yada, yada. All the usual suspects are like getting in here and saying, oh, how disgusting. But now, guys, here's what I said. I said to all the gay kids out there, you're okay. You're safe. There's nothing wrong with you. These weirdos in the replies, they're talking about sex. That's about them. Just be who you are and shine. We're going to protect you from these freaks. But what it comes down to is this. Is all of these religious weirdos, right? All of them. They are obsessed because when they hear the word gay, they immediately like want to talk about gay sex, about sex. But like, guys, gay has nothing to do with sex. Okay? Gay is simply who you love, right? If you're straight, you love people of the opposite gender. If you're gay, you love people of the same gender. It has nothing to do with sex. Every gay person I have ever known in my life knew they were gay long before they even knew anything about sex, okay? Many of the gay people I knew, they started figuring it out when I started figuring it out. I started getting interested in girls in like first grade. I started having crushes. And by third grade, it was like, whoa, I was wanting to kiss girls, okay? It was like by fourth grade, I was writing them poems about love and shit. There was like no sex, okay? Like nobody, right at that age, nobody's getting a hard on. Nobody's thinking about sex. Sex, we didn't know what the fuck that was. It had nothing to do with sex, guys. It was simply, oh, you got a crush on Susie? Yeah, I got a crush on Susie. For the gay people, it's like, you got a crush on Susie? And they're like, actually, no, I got a crush on Billy. Am I supposed to like Susie? What the fuck is going on? Am I broken? And it's like, no, you're not broken. If somebody says you got a crush on Susie and you actually like Billy, no, you're just gay. That's like, that's totally normal. Right? Now, further though, is like, you ready for this? Let's think about this further. Okay? Forget about even the attraction. You ready for this, guys? Because people were in here. People were reacting to me. Oh, look at this. There are 0 children who watch Sesame Street that are sexual. Like, dude, being gay has nothing to do with being sexual. Okay? Gay kids just are attracted to same-sex people from a very young age, the same way that straight kids are attracted to opposite-sex people. Nobody is having sex at that age. They don't even know what sex is. Now, guys, you ready for this? What's crazy about this is there's another level. All right, you ready? 5 million kids in America that are Sesame Street watching age, 5 million kids have gay parents. So some of this isn't even about the kids. It's the fact that millions of kids that tune in and watch Sesame Street every day, they have same-sex parents, guys. Okay? So, like, straight kids have same-sex parents. And right? Dude, I have a friend whose dad came out as gay in his 50s after he raised both kids. He was finally in his 50s, and he sat the family down and said, I'm actually gay. I've been hiding it all these years. And everyone in the family was like, oh my God, this makes so much fucking sense. And now they are happily having multiple, right? The kids now have, the mom got remarried and the dad has a husband, right? It's like, yo, dude, this shit is like not a huge deal. It's not even a big fucking deal, guys. Okay. So now Sesame Street, right? They're uplifting the members of the community that are people that work on the show, that make the show, that have made the show. The parents of kids that watch Sesame Street, and the millions of gay and trans kids and adults that are somehow connected to this show because their family members watch it, etc. And again, this right here is not about, yo, be gay, kids. This is like, yo, if you're gay, you're okay. You're fine. You're normal. There's nothing wrong with being gay. There's not. And in fact, there are people that are born gay, and there might be people that decide to try it out and are like, oh, shit. You know, I mean, it just doesn't matter. All of it is fine. But as you can imagine, guys, this shit, if we look at the post activity with the quotes, people were freaking out. Look at this. Breaking 9/11 says, why is a children's show posting about Pride Month? Turning Point said this is literally a show meant for young children. Now, I did reply to Turning Point because I said 20% of those children are gay. TPUSA is just upset they don't get to grape those kids like their Orange Jesus did, and the churches that Miss Erica Kirk keeps partnering with have grape charges. Okay, look at this guy said, nobody cares what kind of sex you have, just stop telling kids about it. And I said, being gay has nothing to do with sex. You moronic Bible-boning twat, right? And of course, he blocked me. This guy did because they're all soft, okay? These guys are all like freaking out by this. But oh my God, dude, everybody, right, got in on this, right? Pride Month proclamations. Again, the religious zealots, they attached the sex to this. That is coming from them, okay? Look at this. A literal children's show, 𝗙cie freaks. Don't let your kids watch this garbage, right? Right, thanks to Trump, this garbage is no longer receiving taxpayer funding. But you know what, guys? It's like, it doesn't matter because the show got funded and it's back on PBS. So whatever, it's not receiving taxpayer funding, but it is because it is like taxpayers are funding it. They're just funding it not through the government. So these guys are all idiots. And look at this. Hey, Sesame Street, why do you feel it's appropriate to push a sexual agenda? Right? But like, dude, saying happy Pride Month and saying, hey, gay people, you're supported, that is not pushing an agenda. Okay? Now, I did have some choice words for these guys because, guys, let me just tell you, the reality is religious people push an agenda, okay? Christians push an agenda. They have kids, and at the youngest age, these kids, they're not asked for consent. They're forced to go to church. They're forced to go to Sunday school. They are forced to participate in Bible study, and they are told, if you don't live this life we're forcing on you, you're going to burn in hell. You're going to have gnashing teeth. You're going to be punished for eternity, and it's going to be torture, and you will be eaten alive by fire and the devil if you don't do these things we're forcing you to do. So they do this to kids from the very earliest age, forcing them to pray and to obey God's rules, and they pump their heads with all this negative shit. Oh, if you're gay, if you're trans, no, you're bad, you're a sinner. You need to beg for forgiveness to even be given redemption because you were born a sinner, blah, blah, blah. These religious people force this shit on kids. I know I was one of them that got forced. It is literally the definition of indoctrination and grooming. So, because they groom and indoctrinate their kids with threats of eternal hellfire, if you don't conform to the Bible and God's word, and I mean, independent, even the churches that say it's okay to be gay, they do indoctrinate the kids that if you don't do what the Bible says, you're going to burn in hell. Okay, so even the churches that accept gay people participate in this indoctrination of like threatening kids with eternal hellfire if they don't conform to that Christianity from the very beginning. Now, because Christians indoctrinate and threaten kids with hellfire from the very beginning, they assume that everything else in the world is doing the same. They assume that if you say Happy Pride Month, you are going to tell the kids, if you don't be gay, if you don't like, you're gonna blah, blah, blah. But none of that is true. Okay, none of that is true. Hanging a pride flag is not about like being gay. It is simply a symbol to those who are gay that you're safe here. Okay, that's what pride flags are. Okay, celebrating Pride Month is like you deserve to have rights and we accept you and you're safe. It has nothing to do with you being gay or not being gay. It is simply an indication that you are safe here. Okay, this right here does not say kids should be gay or adults should be gay, or it doesn't make a statement about gay at all. It just simply says, if you're gay, you're safe. We got you. You're good here. We're not going to tell you you're bad. We're not going to try and eliminate you or make you feel ashamed of who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, but dude, people were freaking out. Now me, guys, I'm really thankful for Sesame Street. I was a Sesame Street kid. I was an old school Sesame Street, right? Let me show you. Now, let me just tell you guys, this was the Sesame Street that I grew up with, okay? Was this, which was, the stoop in fucking New York, right? And it was diverse. There were people of color. There were a lot of men and women. Now, the Sesame Street I grew up with did not talk about being gay. It was not mentioned, okay? I got the diversity of color. I got the diversity of men and women being empowered. I got the community feeling of being out on the stoop and learning acceptance of everyone, but they didn't talk about being gay. And let me tell you what happened, okay? As a result of my Sesame Street not talking about being gay, when I was in high school, one of my best friends was gay, and he couldn't tell us about it. He kept it in the shadows, okay? He wasn't open with us. I mean, we knew he was, I don't know, he was a little effeminate. He had trouble keeping relationships. He was on the pep squad, but we loved him, but we never talked about it, okay? He didn't get to be openly who he was with us in high school, and we glossed over it because we weren't educated about it. And everybody was like, ooh, you had to be real careful about that. Now, you know what was interesting, guys? He grappled with drug addiction and all manner of shit. Didn't come out until he was in his 30s. And dude, that's part of the reason why I became an ally, because I was so fucking pissed off that, like, why didn't I just get told? Why did my best friend have to fucking live in the shadows and feel ashamed of himself and have to hide himself from all of his best friends? Why did he have to go through that simply because we couldn't talk about being gay? It's fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking stupid. It really is, guys. You know what I'm saying? And no offense, buddy, but fuck you, boss. You little troll. You can get out of my chat. All right? Later, shitter. All right? Guys, again, you ready? If my Sesame Street had talked about people being gay, if my Sesame Street had talked about, like, openly about that shit, my best friend wouldn't have had to hide himself through high school. Maybe he wouldn't have had as many struggles with drugs and alcohol, right? Maybe a bunch of us wouldn't have. Who knows? But the point being is like talking, if my Sesame Street had talked openly about what gay was, it wouldn't have created him to be gay. It would have made it so his existence was less shitty, okay? But I'm so thankful for having Sesame Street because I grew up with such crazy liberal values, guys, of like acceptance and openness and expansion. Like I became such a curiosity seeker and became such a like well-rounded person that was outside of the 3,000 person town I lived in and it was because of Sesame Street and because of the electric company. That was another one, dude. Right? It was this one too, dude. The electric company. That's another one, guys. That was amazing, bro. Diversity. And now looking back on it, we know that there were some gay people there and shit, but you just couldn't be open about it at that time. Dude, I'm not a troll, Tommy. I just love 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃. Let's go. Dude, thank you, Osti. Dude, I love 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃 too. Love it. Dude, my favorite though was Grover. All right, and Super Grover. But yeah, guys, so this set everybody on fire. And guys, I did get into it with people. I did. I got into it. I do this all the time. I get into it, right, about, fucking, and telling them exactly about how, hey, just because you guys threaten kids with eternal hellfire doesn't mean that LGBTQ people are doing that. And in fact, they're not. And there is no such thing as transgenderism. And there is no indoctrinating. Nobody's trying to create gay kids, okay? Right? We're just trying to prevent gay kids from being beaten and being silenced and being shamed and being abused, okay? And that's it. Like, woke is still here. These religious people are not going to fucking bully people anymore. Now, we do need to talk about one woman in particular, and that's this woman, this Megan Basham. Okay, now what's crazy about this fucking evangelical weirdo is, guys, she is dying of cancer. Okay, she has colorectal cancer. This shit is spread to her fucking lungs. And she's being treated for cancer. And while she was like facing down her mortality by being treated for cancer, she is literally doing nothing but attack LGBTQ people. Look at this shit. About like writing a Bible about this. Dude, she was going all day on this shit, guys. Let me show you one, okay, where she was like, look at what she says. How do I know we're winning on Pride Month? It's like, you're obviously not winning on Pride Month because you're literally dying of cancer and you're arguing with the Sesame Street shit. And like you supported a rapist, okay? Now she is crazy. Look at what she said here. Look at what she said. She said, basically, here's my position. I am done with the GOP coddling this. And yes, that includes Trump. So everywhere I see it, including if I see it from our president of the White House account, I'm going to go to war with it. We should never have tolerated it. But the best time to undo that cowardice and capitulation is now. It must stop. And I said, dude, this woman is dying of cancer and just being an asshole to the very end. Her dying breath will be some bullshit about gay people, dude. And you know what, Megan? It's never going to stop, you idiot. It's not stopping. Woke 2.0 is here. Dude, look at what Damien Toll did. He posted a picture of Scott Bessent. And she's like, did he post about Pride Month? And Damien's like, that's the problem, the month, not the gay part? Okay. And she said, so here's my standard. I try not to attack people personally for the sinful predilection of homosexuality. So if you take someone like Bessent, I will openly and loudly oppose his and his partner's decision to purchase 2 babies. Dude, I will go on the warpath against him. But you are wanting me to attack him personally and publicly for being attracted to men. Dude, How demented is she that she won't attack him for being attracted to men, but she'll attack him and say he's purchasing kids and he's like sinful? And he said, I don't want you to attack anyone. I want you to disappear from this app and public life generally. But like a good little soldier, you don't say a word about a Trump nominee. You waste your time attacking Lawler for a room temperature Pride Month post. And, oh, no, I will stay here as long as God allows, opposing that which is destructive to the great nation that my children will inherit, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I told her flat out, dude, I'm sorry, Megan, but God is going to spit in your face and throw you in the lake of fire for like leading a judgmental attack on his gay children. I mean, if there was a God, all right, there isn't a God, but if there is a God, dude, she's going to hell. Like she is fucking getting tossed into the flames will eat her up like she is a crisp piece of paper. But like, my God, dude, this woman is dying of cancer. And this is what she's doing with her end days. Isn't that wild? Like crazy, bro. And what's funny though is like nobody gives a shit about her position. Okay? Nobody cares about her position because Pride Month is going nowhere. Okay? Gay people are going nowhere. They were here since the dawn of time. They're not going to disappear. Like, look at that, dude. Dude, right? Rihanna's new lingerie is repped by Elon's trans daughter. Okay? And they are fucking like, right? And she thinks they're winning. But Megan, you're not winning. Every sports team. Like, oh, you know what she thinks they're winning? You ready, guys? She thinks they're winning because of Target. Okay? Because of Target. But you ready, guys? Let me just show you Target. Okay? Let's look at Target. Okay? Because Target here, they tweeted once on December of 2025. Since then, they have not fucking tweeted, guys, since 2022 was the last time they actually tweeted. Target did. Okay, so Target, their big win has fallen off the map of fucking social media and participating in the town square. Why? Because Target fucking like reneged on Pride Month, and then they stopped supporting black-owned businesses. So Target is like, dude, they're done. Okay, they're done. They had to disappear in order to like stay afloat. Now, on top of that, guys, look at Target News. This is the official Twitter handle that does company news. But what do you notice here, guys? You can't reply. They shut off all their replies. So Target has a news Twitter that still tweets about how good their business is doing. But dude, they had to eliminate replies. Why? Because they're fucked, guys. Look at that. Look at the last time they let replies on there. Everybody was fucking attacking them. Okay, so they had to eliminate their replies because they're getting attacked by both right-wing accounts that are like, oh my God, Target, you have to do what we say or we're going to cancel you. And they're being attacked by all the left-wingers who said, you know what, Target, we're never going in there again. And guys, like I said with Target today too, you ready? I've been very clear with them. I tag them every fucking year, right? Where I say every Pride Month, I briefly think about Target and how they shit on the LGBTQ community and black-owned businesses and how I will never shop there again. And they claim they're doing great, but they stop tweeting. They shut down their replies. And at the end of the day, most people that like used to support Target, like I if somebody were burning one down, I would go watch. But short of that, there is nothing I would ever do that will get me inside a Target. And I used to go there, guys. Okay, we used to go there actually yearly we used to do more than that. But we had a tradition of on Jenny's birthday going and picking out a stuffed animal. She collects stuffed animals. And so we used to do that. It was like a tradition that we had done for years. And we stopped that too. We took them out of the fucking tradition in addition to taking them out of our regular shopping rotation. You know what I'm saying? Hackers exposed a white supremacist dating site. Oh, nice, dude. Put some links to that. We'll cover that shit tomorrow. But guys, I gotta go. I told you it was gonna be a short one. I gotta get some videos. I've got a massage tomorrow. I'm gonna get back on the 3 videos a day. Big love. Pride Month, we got you. Let me just tell you guys. You know, the fucking the Megam Bashams of the world. This woman, she is inconsequential. Doesn't she look like Erica Kirk, dude? They all look like airbrush versions of Erica Kirk with the Bible eyes and the misery, dude. They've not won. They have not won. They never will win, okay? You could use a massage. They're too expensive. Yeah, I charge mine on a credit card. And they're too expensive for me too. But I'm like, you know, I go in. I have to. I need it. Or like I wouldn't be able to do this job. But yeah, they are too expensive. They are. You know, although, you know, if you like they are, but they're also, if you get them from an individual, you're supporting a local artisan. So maybe save up and get one a year. Treat yourself to one a year. Right? That's what I used to do. Or, you know what I used to do too? You ready for this? I don't know if this helps, but what I used to do, guys, and Nurse Joy, I used to find like massage therapists that normally what you can do, right, is you can find one who like has a table. Like for a long time, I had a hippie girl who like followed the string cheese incident, and she was a massage therapist that had let her license lapse, but she used to come to my house with a table, and for like $40, she would give me an hour massage and we would do it under the table. There are those. Or the other thing, yes, a massage therapy school. I don't know what city you're in, but find a massage therapy school, okay? Because they have a free list that you can get on where you go get student massages. And they have a couple of them here in Portland. If you're in a small town, that can be harder. But I suggest you find a massage therapist who is like, you know, in the sort of hippie commune kind of van life trial. You can find them if they've let their massage therapy lapse, like their license lapse, they're still qualified. You can get massages under the table, guys. You know, it is just for cash, but massage therapy schools are great. Okay. They are a great way to do it. You know, they are a great way to do it. Hold on. I think we might have to fucking get rid of some weirdos, right? All right. Let's go. All right. No, we're looking good. Looking good. All right. But yeah. And so guys, we fucking, you know, Jenny and I, though, do it where we just massage each other. We trade, guys. We've been doing this. Jenny and I have been together for 13 years, right? And we spend anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes every day doing like a rub trade. We will watch a show and we will massage each other, right? And just have some physical contact and trading massages while watching, you know, a TV show or a movie or something for 20 to 40 minutes a day. And we've been doing this, guys, for years. It's just a way of like we literally make time for it, whether it's during the day or we do it before stream. And literally, guys, I don't know when we started doing this. We probably started doing it like, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago or something, but we have missed very few days. I shit you not. We like make it like sometimes that's the only time that we spend together in that day will be to convene for, 20 to 40 minutes to fucking whatever we can find to, give each other some nice physical like contact, in a bonding sort of way. It's like really good for you guys. If you can do it, I highly recommend it, man. It's amazing. I am a massage whore though. I will admit, guys, since I was a kid, I have been a massage slut, okay? Where I have always loved back rubs. My dad, I've talked about him. He was kind of an abuser, but he had really strong hands. He gave really great massages. My dad did not like physical contact. I would like hug him and he would be like, stop hanging on me. But I used to force my dad to give me back rubs. I would pull out the footstool and I would lay over it and make him, while he was watching TV, give me back rubs until his hands started to ache. And I would not take no for an answer. And then I had sisters that used to like, my sisters would want to get the car or whatever. And my dad, I was his kid. They were all half brothers and sisters. So there was a little weird power dynamic where I had sway with my dad. So I would like trade them like, okay, you massage me for 10 minutes and I will talk to dad and make sure you get the car tonight. And so I used to do that shit where like we would do some transactional shit where I would help them get the car or I would help them, be able to stay out later with my dad. I would be a go-between to like, I knew how to schmooze and butter the man up. And in exchange for massage, or they would like to do like pop blackheads on my back or my face. And so from the youngest age, I would be like, okay, you can have 10 pimples for 5 minutes of massage. Dude, so you know what I mean? I've always been working the massage angle, guys. I love them, dude. I love them. It just works for me, boss. All right, that's it. I'm going to go to work. I love you guys. Happy Pride Month. All right, we got this. Fuck these weirdos. We're getting this shit. Let's dance party time, boss. Dude, yeah, no, my sisters, my half-sisters, like, they loved the popping blackheads. And I mean, I never had acne, but I've always had, like, pretty greasy skin, so I always had a lot of blackheads. And so that was a big trade. They get that massage for blackhead popping. It was a big one, dude. It was a huge one. Let's go. Oh, shit. All right, guys. Dude, thank you for a great stream. We are now going to get down with our usual fucking deja vu. All right? Little Stefan Carlin. All right? And I'm going to go make some videos. We're getting back into the 3 videos a day. All right? Dude, let's go. I fucking appreciate you guys. I'm glad that we're going through this together. I'm really thankful that I'm not alone going through this, because dude, this is like, some days I wake up and I get online and I'm just like, holy shit, I'm not gonna be able to make it through the Trump admin. Some days I just feel like defeated, but then knowing that every night, like, all I have to do is make it to 10 p.m. and we get to hang out and commiserate in this shit together and know that we're gonna we got each other, dude, it means a lot, man. And then that allows me to like be able to do that IRL with other people I know. It just feels good to not be alone. So thank you for being here, guys. I do appreciate it. All right, I do. Bigly. All right, you ready? Let's go. Oh, it's time. Oh, it's time for a little deja vu. I hope you can dance too. Move your body to the music. Oh! Let's go! I wonder if you ever did. I got it. Let's go! That is a workout. Dun 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 dun. I just wanna be free. Yeah, let's go. Thank you guys. Free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, baby! No, 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 I wanna be free! I wanna be free! Let me! Free, yeah, yeah, yeah! Freedom! Whoa! Freedom! Freedom, yeah, yeah, yeah! Freedom, yeah, freedom! I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you and good night.